Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427's to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, like what we do on our channel and want to see more videos from us? Then not to worry about a thing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that way you can see more of our videos coming up very soon. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and yeah, I guess it has been some time since the previous thoughts video that I did a while ago for sure, but hey, I definitely need something to pretty much fill in the void and take a nice break from the host for sure, because yeah, let me tell you, I've really got a lot going on since the previous thoughts video that I did, so I think it's actually a good way to bridge the gap for the time being, so yeah. And of course, pretty much of anything, I hope all of you guys are enjoying my retro GameCon videos that I've been putting up on my channel as we speak for sure, so yeah. Really had a whole lot of fun right around the past weekend for sure, and the videos I've been pushing out as we speak since after my time there are actually I'll really give you guys a little something as we speak right before my next upload for sure. So yeah, I think with the main vlog done, and of course the results for the cosplay speedrun, and of course the kids cosplay contest, which you just saw well over an hour ago for sure. Yeah, those were a whole lot of fun, hands down, and yeah, as of now, I think we've got like one more retro GameCon video that's gonna go up right around tomorrow, and it will be followed up by pretty much quite a few What the Pickup episodes that we did film in addition to that for sure. So yeah, and I might cram in one more just for a good measure to really help bridge the gap for sure. So yeah, but either way, I hope all of you guys have been enjoying those as of now, and that's right up until pretty much my next convention, which I'm gonna announce pretty soon, which will be on Kinshoku-Con over at Niagara Falls. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that later on down the road for sure. I'm currently hard at work on getting some promotional stuff and maybe a few videos revolving around that going as we speak. So yeah, some point around later on, you'll definitely start to see them later on. So yeah, just wanted to get that algo real quick. So yeah, let's get right on to pretty much today's thoughts video for sure. And yeah, speaking about what I said about retro GameCon for sure, I guess it's after pretty much hanging on over there the past weekend, I felt that now is a good time for me to do a little catch up on some new releases of some new movies that we actually got for sure. So yeah, I know I'm actually way behind, and of course, talking about these two for sure, but luckily enough, yeah, surprisingly enough, probably by the time I'm recording this video, yeah, you're gonna be treated with, of course, not one, but two thoughts videos, for sure. And yeah, give it to what I just mentioned. Yes, folks, we're doing another double feature this time around, for sure. So So yeah, I kind of figure it'll be a really great way for me to catch up, of course, pretty much on what I've missed out for sure. And luckily enough for today's movie, surprisingly enough, I was originally going to see it right around last week. I dare even say probably do like an early Thursday screening of course, this movie I'm going to be talking about here today, right before Retro Game Con for sure. But I guess some things came up from, of course, me and my family for sure, which did kind of prevent that for sure. But hey, we're making it up for it now by talking about it today for sure. So yeah, I guess it is something I can do for the time being as of now. But I hope all of you guys completely understand that for sure. So yeah, and I guess for today's movie we're going to be talking about, well, it actually has been a couple of months since we've actually talked about this studio for some time, so I think it's about time that we return to Disney once again for sure. So yeah, I guess pretty much of anything, I think it makes sense for me to return to Disney for the time being as of now, and yeah, pretty much of anything. Sometimes they can give us good stuff, but other times not so much, but yeah, they do have their share of ups and downs, to which is perfectly fine in my book, hands down. But hey, as long as, of course, they're still willing to give us something, hands down, I think we should be alright. So yeah, and luckily enough for today's movie we're going to be talking about from Disney this time around, well, surprisingly enough, I think it's about time that we talk a little bit of something that's given to us from the grid, hands down. Yeah, I think that would definitely spell out, of course, what I'm going to be talking about with today's movie that I just saw not too long ago. But in case you didn't catch that little hint for sure, that would definitely accommodate in, of course, today's movie we're going to be talking about here today at long last, which is none other than Tron Ares. So yeah, that's of course what we're going to be talking about here today. Not only is this the latest film that just came out not too long ago, but it's also the latest installment in, of course, pretty much one of Disney's lesser known but still well known franchises that they actually put out for sure, which is of course on Tron. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, well, before I could go ahead and talk about this latest movie, I think it makes sense for me to brush up at least my knowledge on Tron for sure. So yeah, and to be honest, I have heard of Tron for some time, but I never really got into it back when I was a kid for sure. I mean, yeah, I do like some good stuff from Disney, but Tron is actually one of those that I surprisingly enough didn't know anything about, nor even got into for sure, but based on my knowledge, despite the fact that there's very little movies as of now, Tron has actually been one of the main staples for Disney for sure, in all sorts of other media for sure. Yeah, pretty much ranging from television to, of course, theme park rides, and that's just to name me a few for sure. And speaking of which, the movies is definitely the one thing that comes into mind when we think of Tron for sure. So yeah, and to give you guys a little brush up on, of course, what I thought about those movies for sure, here's a little short recap, of course, what I thought of them. Yeah, to which, yeah, I did manage to sit down and watch pretty much the first two to get myself prepared for the new one for sure, and well, I guess I might as well pretty much share you guys some of my thoughts for sure. The original Tron movie, I actually do thought was pretty good, hands down. I mean, okay, it's not really the best I've actually seen from Disney, but I really do think it's actually a really good flick, in my opinion, with not only a really good story, interesting characters, and some really good acting for sure. But honestly, I think where I think it falls flat, in my opinion, is that I really didn't like the visual style from what I could gather, and the cinematography is just, not really that cohesive to me for sure, but hey, that's just my opinion, hands down, for sure, but hey, like I said, I do like the original Tron movie for what it is, and yeah, I know it was pretty much one of those movies released in the 80s for sure, but hey, I do like a good bit of 80s cheese for sure, and the original Tron actually fits the bill, of course, that one. And of course, for its first sequel, Tron Legacy, back right around 2010, honestly, I didn't see it around the time it came out, but I did recall seeing several advertisements when I was a kid for sure, and yeah, finally getting the chance to actually see it. I definitely do think it's actually a pretty decent flick, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, it's not really, by all means, great, but it's not terrible either, for sure, but I do know a few people actually really do like pretty much Tron Legacy for sure, and I can definitely see why, hands down. Sure, I will admit, compared to the original, I do felt the story was a little bit too complicated, and the acting is fine, and the characters could have been a little bit more interesting, hands down. But however, unlike the original Tron movie, I actually do find the visual style this time around in this movie to absolutely be absolutely outstanding and way better than what I expected. And the cinematography is absolutely phenomenal, hands down. So yeah, honestly, to me, I do like the original Tron for what it is, but in terms of pretty much cinematography and the visual style, I really do think Tron Legacy pretty much stepped it up a whole lot for sure, and luckily enough, with what I'm seeing nowadays, pretty much when it comes to Tron in general from Disney for sure, they really took a lot of liberty from the second film, hands down, to which I really do love and admire for sure. So yeah, these of course range from of course the TV show Tron Uprising, which I never actually saw, and of course a really good recent example is of course the Tron Light Cycle roller coaster at two of the Disney parks, whether it be the one in Shanghai or one pretty much back here in the States down in Florida for sure. So yeah, that is what I think. That is, of course, what I think of when it comes to Tron for sure. So yeah, but like I said, I thought the second Tron movie was a decent enough flick for what it is. But yeah, either way, the cinematography and the visual style, I definitely do think it's a whole lot better than the original for sure. So yeah, but either way, that's pretty much what I can say for the first two Tron movies for sure. And hey, those are just my opinion, hands down. So yeah, I guess I give it to all that when I heard the news about this movie for sure. I got myself quite curious to see on what they're gonna do for, of course, that one. And based on what I've seen in the trailers, sure, yeah, I do have a bit of concerns from what I've actually seen, but I really do like some of the ideas that they actually decide to go for, hands down. So luckily enough, I did manage to get myself in to officially see this movie as part of my double feature that I did, all thanks to the kind people at Crown City Cinemas as always, and well, now that I've officially got back from, of course, seeing it, what do I think of this one for sure? Well, you're gonna be quite surprised to actually hear this because yeah, I think compared to the pretty much the first two films, I mean, I guess if anything, this movie is not great, but yeah, who am I kidding? I say to me, this film is pretty weak, hands down. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way I can describe it for sure. Yeah, I mean, sure, it did have some good ideas from what I could gather, but the movie as a whole, I just don't really think it's that good for sure. In fact, if anything, I mean, to be fair, it's not the worst I've actually seen for sure, but I just think it's your run-of-the-mill bad flick for sure. So yeah, I think that's probably the best way I can actually describe this movie as a whole. I didn't like it for sure, and yeah, I say it is your typical run-of-the-mill bad flick for sure. But yeah, as far as, of course, when it comes to the Tron movies in general, with, of course, this one, yeah, this movie is pretty much weak for what it is, so yeah. It's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Ooh. There we go. Alrighty then, well, now that we got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure. For starters is, of course, the story, and yeah, honestly, to me, I really do like the idea that they actually have for the story for this movie on paper for sure, but I guess from what I've actually seen, like I said, it is good on paper for sure, but I think it delivered poorly in execution for sure. I really don't think they actually have a lot going for hands down, and it really is quite complicated when you think about it for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some aspects in the story that I really do follow through, and I really do think they could utilize it quite well, and in some parts they actually did. But the rest, however, I just really felt that it is very underutilized for sure, and not really something that really got me hooked on all the way for sure. That really got me pretty much hooked onto the edge of my seat, hands down. So yeah. Pretty much of anything, maybe with a few tweaks in here and there, I think they could have done a whole lot better for sure. But they didn't, and it just made the story not really that engaging in my opinion, so yeah. And of course, for the writing as another good example for sure, yeah, honestly to me the writing in this film, I just think it's just way too cluttered up for sure. Again, they have some good ideas that they want to present, hands down, but I just really don't think they really crafting anything that interesting for sure to really get me investing all the way from Why Can't I Gather, and yeah. Pretty much at the end of the day, it just results in everything looking a little shallow and muddled down from Why Can't I Gather, and yeah, all that sort of stuff from Why Can't I Gather that really did derail the flick from Why Can't I Gather, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, those two aspects for sure. Again, they have some good ideas on paper, but the execution, however, I think it's, of course, where I think it actually falls flat for sure, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, well, now that we actually got those two out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple things I need to talk about. To which next up is, of course, the characters, and yeah, again, I really do like what they're actually doing for most of these characters for sure, but honestly to me, I really do think a good number of them aren't giving as much development from Why Can't I Gather, which hardly makes me think that they're anything that likable and interesting for sure, and yeah, that too alone is, of course, where I think this movie did suffer big, hands down for sure, and yeah, I think with what I've actually seen by far, I think they could have done a whole lot more to the characters to still make them likable and interesting for sure, but they hardly did, hands down, and I think this movie really did suffer for that, hands down, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the characters for sure. Now, as for the actors that came aboard to play all these characters, well, I mean, some of them did fine from Why Can't I Gather, hands down for sure, but I really do think the acting in this movie, I just really didn't think it's that strong, in my opinion, and I really do felt that they aren't actually giving anything that gripping or interesting to really make these characters work for sure, and well, I mean, they do try from what I can gather, but not really that impressive to me, hands down. And probably, I think the biggest culprit, of course, all this would definitely have to be, obviously enough, get ready to face palm at this one. Would definitely have to be Jared Leto for sure. And yeah, I know exactly what you're thinking. Oh god, Jared Leto is like another Disney project? Well, yeah, I'm afraid he is. I mean, come on, guys. If Jared Leto was, say, in a Disney live-action remake, pretty much, for one thing, then that idea alone would actually cause people to facepalm even more, hands down. In fact, yeah, I really don't want to see Jared Leto in, like, a Disney live-action remake next. Oh my god, I just gave people ideas. But yeah, I guess either way when it comes to this movie, yeah, I guess it is quite obvious, a lot like everyone else. I'm not a big Jared Leto fan for sure, so yeah, and I guess with what I've actually seen his acting in this movie, yeah, I guess pretty much from what I can gather, I think Jared Leto's acting in this movie, it's almost like he actually has some of that leftover bad acting he pulled off in Morbius, and I kind of figure, you know what, I'll put it into, of course, this movie for good measure, so yeah, I wouldn't be quite surprised that Jared Leto had some of his leftover bag acting from Morbius that he implemented into this film, hands down, because that's what it felt like watching this for sure, so yeah. And I know a lot of you guys are expecting for him to say it's Tron in timing, of course, this movie. Kind of like when we all thought, speaking of Morbius, we all thought he said it's Morbin time. Well, spoiler alert, he didn't say that in this movie. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's that, hands down. I mean, we were all expecting him to say that, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen with Morbius when we all thought he said it's Morbin time. And definitely not the case in this movie, hands down. Now I'm beginning to wonder if Jared Leto would have a video posting with him holding a script for Tron 4, It's Tron in Time. Tell me you didn't want me to see that for sure, so yeah, but that's what I can say for Jared Leto, hands down. But however, probably I think the only, pretty much the only actor I can say, pretty much I can give credit to giving off a good performance in this movie would definitely have to be the original star from the first two Tron movies, which is of course Jeff Bridges as Kevin Flynn, hands down, to which, yeah, if you were to ask me, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that Jeff Bridges is what made the Tron movies interesting for sure, and I'll give him credit that despite his appearance being very minimal at best, I still think he actually gave off a good performance regardless, hands down. Sure, he had to work around with, of course, the crap material that's been given to him, hands down, but I do admire his commitment nonetheless, and I do give him credit for at least trying, so yeah. But that's pretty much what I can say for the acting for sure, so yeah, given to, of course, the characters and the actors for sure, yeah, that would get you the idea, of course, what I have to say on that front, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty. Alrighty then, well, yeah, now that I've actually got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Well, quite a whole lot, to be honest, to which, I guess obviously next up would have to be the production design from what I could gather, and, well, if I'm going to be positive about this movie for sure, I will admit the production design is actually really good for sure, so So yeah, I think with what I'm actually seeing, I really do admire on what they did with the production design for, of course, this movie for sure. So yeah, whether it be anything that happened in the real world or in the world of Tron, from what I can gather, I really do think they really went all out with, of course, what I've actually seen for sure. Yeah, I think with, of course, each location that they got into some really nice set pieces that they've actually put together for sure. I really do admire their commitment to actually make this movie look good for sure, and I really do think they did pull it off quite well, hands down. I've been fooled with the eye, or at least convinced that we're actually in this world of this movie for sure, and I do admire on what they actually did. So yeah, and of course another thing I will have to say, the action in this movie, which consists of course mostly fights and chases for sure, I really do think is actually really nicely done from what I can gather. They really putting a lot of hard-working effort to really make those look good, hands down, and they deliver on that very well from what I've actually seen. So yeah, I really do admire on what they actually did, of course, this one, and I really do think they did a bang-up job from what I can gather, hands down. So yeah, and not only that, the visuals and the effects, I will have to say, they are actually very well convincing, and I really do love on what they actually did for sure. Even getting to see different parts of course, Tron, pretty much the world of Tron from what I can gather, I really do think is actually very well convincing in my opinion, and I really do think they did an impressive job to really make it pretty much really make it blend in with, of course, the actor surroundings for sure, and even working in quite well in the real world that they decide to show off for sure. That I really do admire from what I can gather. So yeah, and plus I really do love some of the nice callbacks that they did to the original Tron movie for sure. Sure, yeah, visual style, they actually did take note from Tron Legacy, which I really do love and admire. But I really do love that they did acknowledge what they did in the original Tron movie for sure, and I really do like what they actually pulled off. It really does blend in pretty much everything that this movie actually provided for sure, which I really do love and admire from what I can gather. So yeah, that's at least what I can say, of course, that front, and those are some things that I do think are actually pretty positive about this movie for sure. Alongside Jeff Bridges' performance in, of course, this movie. So yeah, and of course, moving on from all that, the direction this film from the film's director, yeah, I just really don't think it's actually I really don't think they really put a lot of effort into, of course, the direction, of course, this one, and maybe I think it could have been a whole lot more to really make it all the more gripping, hands down, for sure, but they didn't, and I think it's pretty much what we're left with, hands down. So yeah, and of course, the cinematography in this film, yeah, again, if I were to be positive for sure, yeah, I would say the cinematography in this film, yeah, much like what I thought of Tron Legacy, I really do think the cinematography is actually very nicely done for sure. I really do love some of the really good camera shots that they actually did, from what I can gather, to really sell the vocal point, of course, this movie, hands down, and I really do think they did a bang-up job with the cinematography for sure. So yeah, and of course the editing for sure. Yeah, I just kind of thought the editing styling, of course, this movie is way too muddled down from what I can gather, and not really anything that really got me hooked on all the way, and even the pacing, I have to say, just hardly matches, of course, what's pretty much what's been going on for sure, and it's really hard to actually So yeah, but that's at least what I can say, of course, on my part, hands down, and yeah, pretty much of anything, I think it would get you the idea on what I thought of this one for sure, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Okay, I guess I'm done with that too. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole, so yeah, overall, Tron Ares, yeah, honestly, it is bad, yes, but I can't say it's probably the worst movie I've actually seen for sure. And I think it's just your typical run-of-the-mill bad flick, hands down. But as far as, of course, when it comes to the other Tron movies that came out beforehand, yeah, obviously to me, I really do think this is probably the weakest of course, the Tron movies, hands down, for sure. I mean, sure, yeah, it does have some good stuff, of course, this one for sure, like, of course, the production design and the visuals and the effects are really outstanding. The cinematography is really good, and of course, Jeff Bridges really did stand out quite well, much like what he did in the other movies, hands down. But the rest I have to say, yeah, I really don't think they really did an impressive job from what I can gather for sure. And yeah, pretty much of anything, they range from pretty much bland to just not really putting any form of effort into, of course, this one. So yeah, and I guess it is quite obvious enough. Yeah, again, I really do like some of the ideas that they actually did with, of course, this one, and maybe I think with a little fine-tuning here and there from what I can gather, maybe I think it could have resulted in a much better movie, hands down, for sure. In fact, if anything, maybe I think that's something they would have gone with, hands down, So yeah, maybe I guess with a little fix-ups here and there, I think we could have gotten a much better movie, hands down, for sure. To which, yeah, maybe I think that's what the people making this movie should have done, hands down. But apparently it didn't matter anyways, because, well, obviously enough, probably by the time this Thoughts video goes live, this movie is bombing hard so bad at the box office that Disney is actually considering retiring the Tron franchise as we speak, and given for the fact on what I mentioned about Jared Leto, hands down, I think it might be the end of course, his time as a leading actor for sure, because, yeah, would you really take him that seriously in a leading role in a movie? I don't think so, hands down, so yeah, but either way, like I said, I don't think this movie is by all means the worst I've actually seen. It's just your typical run-of-the-mill bad flick, in my opinion, and yeah, it is definitely the weakest of course, the Tron movies for sure, so yeah, but either way, if you guys like it, that's totally fine on my book. I won't stop you from liking what you can actually like, hands down. But if I really want to associate myself with Tron in a much more positive light, and of course, pretty much getting to something that I would really enjoy, hands down, well, I think I'm pretty much gonna rewatch the first two movies again, just to experience that for sure, so yeah. Yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front. I'll pretty much rewatch the first two movies again, and yeah, I think pretty much of anything, this movie is something that you might want to skip out on anytime soon, because it's not worth a couple of hours of your time. So yeah, like I said, I can't say this is the worst in my opinion. I just think it's run-of-the-mill bad in my opinion, to which, yeah, I think it's probably for the best. So yeah, and because of that, guys, for my final score, I'm pretty much gonna give this movie a 4 out of 10. Yeah, like I said, yeah, it is bad, yes, but I can't say it's actually the worst movie I've actually seen, in my opinion, or even placing in my list of some of the worst movies I've seen of all time. It's just, bad, hands down. So yeah, either way, I think you're better off rewatching the first two movies again rather than see this for sure. But hey, at least it's all I can say on my part, hands down. So yeah. Alright. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and well, I want to ask all of you guys, what do you think of Tron Ares if you've actually seen it for yourself? Do you absolutely really enjoyed it and think it gave you such a really great time, or do you absolutely hate it and think that much like me is definitely indeed the weakest of course, the Tron movies for sure? Or are you somewhere in between where you think it's just okay for sure? So yeah, let me know what you thought of this movie down in the comments down below. I'm quite curious to see on what you guys think, hands down. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and well, we're not done just yet because yeah, now that we finally got that out of the way, I guess for the next movie we're going to be talking about, I think it's about time that we shift gears for once, hands down. Yeah, I think we're gonna go from something that's given to us from Disney to a little something that's given to us recently from Universal. And quite fitting enough, seeing how it is October as of now, I figured now would be a good time, right before Halloween comes up, to actually finally talk about a horror movie. Yeah, I think that would get you the idea on what I'll talk about next for sure. But in case you're quite curious, just wait until the next thoughts video gets posted up for sure, and you'll definitely see for yourself. So yeah, but until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427TV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyattackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.